Who's that? Kara.
Is it Cara or Carmilla?
Very curious. A mystery guest. Well known.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm Hasina, checking in from Newcastle, South Africa, and just being in a space of surrender.
Hello. Go ahead, Juliet.
No, please, you, Rosa, please.
I'm checking in from Brittany, France. And today for me, the word is flow. That's the word that comes to mind. I was able to see the sunrise earlier this morning, and I've just been feeling completely connected today. So in the flow.
Juliet calling in from Cork. And I think awe and wonder maybe are the best words to sum up what's happened over the last week again, with incredible energies and I don't know, entities, but just starting to realize that I have to be very solid in my I am presence, and also take a stand of my free will as to what can be allowed to be and come into my system. And lovingly, with deep compassion for all life, but just observing funny things that are happening inside me. This a little bit of a pattern that happened before my septicemia or my sepsis is kind of happening again, and just on the edge, watching it and wondering, and yeah, just it's a dance. We're really happy to be with you all here today. Good to see you all. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Annelies. I'm in Peaceland, Greenland. And I feel charged after many days of tiredness and not so well understanding that I could not change that. Besides my practice, nothing was alive as it seemed. Even my dog was hiding under the chairs, and I thought, what's going on, And since yesterday, everything is in a movement again. It feels like charged. The dog came out of his shelter. I'm released of tiredness. I got a message from a contractor who was not showing up for months at a row and suddenly said he would come next Monday. So I feel we're in a new shift, wondering what that will bring. So I go slowly and really conscious, charged.
Well, this is Anya. I'm checking in as the secret agent behind the scenes, and had been the surprising face to it, and surprisingly, because I started last time our chat here, my computer thought I'm the heart center, so I'm here in the in the other shape of this, and it's very beautiful to shape shift once at a time, and you don't know what others see in you. So that's where I am with. So I'm coming and checking in from Germany, from Flohnheim, from the vineyards here, from a beautiful day after a rainy day, and after a beautiful session of days where I had different opportunities to get into, experience, deepen my practices into Zen Buddhism, sitting really just sit and listen, and then walk the land. And around me here is the area of St. Hildegard. So there is a connection also to Ireland, which I really feel, and I'm really connected also to the colors of the area, which I experienced yesterday, and I see it in Juliet. It was a light green and all white flowers came, and we had this green spring energy, which I'm here with today. So I'm sitting with the power of the green spring today.
And it's so great to see Robert here. Welcome, Robert. Would you like to check in, maybe a word, a sentence, whatever it is that you're feeling right now?
Yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you again. For me, I feel much happy to be connected in this bridge continents, because we are connected virtually all over the world, and I feel much happy in this universe to see that we can be connected wherever we are. Thank you.
And Anna Marie, so great to see you. You ready to check in?
Well, just landing. Sorry, I'm late, but good to see you, Robert. Haven't seen you for a while, and the rest as well. Thank you. I'm a little bit in the slow mode because I was up till 3 or something because I joined the assembly. I was going to join for 20 minutes, but then in the end, we know how that goes. But happy to connect also and land here. So. And I'll ring the bell for myself.
Oh, don't deprive us of the
Okay. Sometimes, I just put it myself on silence and do it myself if I can't do it with groups. Okay, well, if you also want to enjoy, I can do that. I'll do it from Vreeland.
And well, before we go into anything, I was just asking Juliet when we first came in if she got any like messages or felt something with a Aurora Borealis, and it seems she did. And I said, wait, let's wait for the recording so it can be on the recording. So, please, Juliet.
I don't know, there just seems to be extraordinary energy, and that day I was completely unaware of it, but I'd been working out and I'd been out in the garden, grounding a lot, weeding and things, and just communing. And that evening, actually, I came in because we had a 5:30 Zoom call with Abitha, and I covered myself quite a bit, but we'd just been in Spain and Portugal, and I guess I didn't put on enough layers. But anyways, I came down an hour later and was making supper, and then suddenly realized I'm absolutely chilled to the bone. Anyways, I looked in the mirror, my face was, well, I noticed when I was on the Zoom, my face was the color of an aubergine, which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, I was quite tan from the sun, but it was blue, that blue tint. And then my son sat across the table because I started shivering. He said, Mom, you better get to bed. You better get upstairs, take a hot bath or something. So I did. I took the hottest bath I've ever had, and I couldn't. It didn't stop the chill. It stopped the chill when I was in, but then I got it afterwards. Anyways, went to bed with hot water bottles and duvets, and realized a couple of hours later I was in a very high fever. I don't know where it came from, what happened. Anyways, I took a couple of paracetamol and it was gone. And the next day, I felt weak, but I felt fine. But then I found out all about, then I saw all these the Northern Lights, down even in Australia. I thought, wow, there is some energetic force that is coming through. And then actually this has kind of turned into it. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'll leave it at that. That has, yeah. So I was surprised the next day to see all those amazing photos all over the world. I don't know if anybody else had any experiences on that night.
Yeah, it was interesting. I feel that there was some shifting in energy, but I didn't know anything more than that because it didn't come into my experience other than on an energetic level. It was interesting, and I kept on feeling that every time I looked at pictures, there was this immense like gratitude and this love. So I thought, okay, something is with that.
Yeah, I must say, seeing the photos, it really felt like Mother Earth was showing her children what beauty she is. That despite all the stuff we're doing to her, she still just shines in her radiant glory of beauty, despite the world situation.
What comes up for me is that since today I feel charged again, and it was a very low energy, but it was also messages coming towards me that really people were thinking that these flares were put in by people who also bring in gem trails, etc. And I thought, oh my goodness! So really, this amazing beauty is even at stake. So I thought, oh, I have to say firm no's now. So I said, no, no, I'm not buying into that, And I had a little insights in also my own country, in my own family even, how different we are thinking at the moment, how polarized. And it made me realize that I was quite in we of course have this beautiful sacred unity, which is so important to us to expand, but also, my goodness, how different we think sometimes. So it made me, now I feel charged again. I can also feel like, okay, I really have to stand tall or firm in my it's not bringing love, but being that, living that, expanding that, and not working for that, but just being that. Stand firm. That's the word. And I feel charged again for that now. So much work to come. So I feel was like a little flare also of, yeah, that we are really in a lucky place as we are, and many people are not, are really suffering. So suffering from the fear they come across. So it's a lot of work for us. This is how I feel.
Welcome, Suzanne. Do you want to check in with a sentence or two before I hand over to Anna-Marie?
Happy birthday! We first celebrate your birthday.
Oh, Suzanne, it's your birthday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Birthday.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Yes, I had a wonderful. Thank you so much. I had a wonderful birthday yesterday, also with the women's circle for 2 hours. Well, I started to cry. There was so much love. They gave me so much love and joy. They sang to me. They gave me good night bedtime stories from the indigenous world. It was amazing. Wow, very healing, very, well, I feel I still have the full, I'm full, and my heart is full of this love I received yesterday from my friends. Yeah, so I'm in a education to be, maybe you know, maybe you don't know. I'm doing a switch to find ways to travel more, because there are some invitations I got since 2 years, and I'm in that transition. Also with the financial duties, I very confirmed and committed to do that as well, for sure. That's very important for me as well, so I can have freedom later on to, no shackles, no financial shackles, so I'm free to flow wherever I want to. So I'm in a meditation class. I will be becoming an intuitive meditation teacher. I got wonderful models of healing meditations, all kind of different forms, which I really love to. So I'm practicing with people online and take it from there. And that's my check-in.
Maybe we all can give one word as a celebration, as a little gift to Suzanne for her presence in our circle, and as a good wish for this next year. Is that an idea that we do that? We just do popcorn. Whoever wants to start, starts.
Suzanne, sorry, go ahead, Anna-Marie.
No, and I said, I was just saying, and Suzanne, you just take it in. Yeah, go ahead.
Suzanne, I so appreciate your enthusiasm and your unlimitedness. There are no limits, and you're just so enthusiastic about what you do, and just, it's wonderful to watch. So I'm just sending you love and light, and thank you for your presence.
Yes, Suzanne, I'd say thank you so much for your presence. You're so beautiful, and you have such passion and enthusiasm and fun, and it's just great that you're in our, in our team, that we're all together. I really appreciate you. Thank you. And bless you for the year.
Suzanne, I really love your playfulness and your childish wonder that you bring to this world, and being unstoppable in that, really, truly unstoppable. Yes. And thank you for bringing that to us and to the world.
So much. Wow.
For me, Suzanne, the two words that came to mind, the first one was alignment for you for the year to come. I wish you alignment in your inner life and the projects that you want to manifest and bring to the world. And the other word that came to mind about you was, I actually had the word giggles. It's just the bubbliness that you bring every time to to the session is really contagious, and I thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the feedback. Wow, so precious. Especially in times when I got really squeezed with the financial situation. It really helps. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I pulled two cards for you. They are in Dutch, so I will translate, but I always like the images. So one has to do with clarity. This one, Helderheid, clarity, clear view, clarity. So it's aligned with what Rosa was also sharing. So I wish you that for this year. And the other has to do with grace. So there you have that too. And I love the dancing that I can see, because that's also what I can see you do. So wishing you that.
Thank you.
Dear Suzanne, I want to share a gift that had been shared with me last weekend when I had my friend here, which is a Zen master. And most likely what we did was just sitting on a black blanket, and I had to ask what about the meaning of the color of black. And then she told me, only on the black ceiling you can see a star falling. In Deutsch sagen wir Sternschnuppe. And that's my wish for you, to see in all the bright heaven and the vastness of everything that is in the sky and in the star, the one star brightly falling for you, and be focused on that. That's my bright wish for you.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh, I start to cry like a dog. Wow, that's really touching. Thank you so much, everybody. It really feels good.
And Robert put it in the chat. Do you want us to, Robert, or do you want to really say it yourself?
Yes. For me, I like the attitude, the courageous Susan is showing us the whole world. And I'm much happy to see her rising, growing. But that reminds me that she is representing the woman, and the woman is the mother, and the earth is our mother. So if the earth is not our mother, we cannot stay in. So I like her attitude. Thank you.
so much. I don't know if I deserve that, but thank you so much.
Take it in. It's not up to you to question that.
Yes.
Take it in.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. Wow.
I would like to pick up on the love theme that since I've been here, noticing that we're exploring. Also what Annelies was saying. And I'm also curious to hear from you, Robert, if you feel called to respond. Because I just, before I went to the Azores to be together with the whales and the dolphins and the sea and the dragon energy through the volcanic essence of those islands there, I was asking and looking into what is the purpose? What's the question that I'm holding, or what's the purpose? What do I work on? And the question I received to further explore is, can I be love also in a world that is loveless? As it came to me in Dutch, I think this is the best translation, but I'll just say it in Dutch also, and Annelies, with your word crafting. Kun jij liefde zijn waar de wereld liefdeloos is? Kun jij liefde zijn waar de wereld liefdeloos is? And yeah.
Yes, it's almost the same. Can you be love where the world is without?
Yeah. And so that's what I'm holding. That's what I'm holding in as my purpose, as my mission, whatever we call it. And that's also how I listened to the guided meditations, and how I went out and as I experience, the heart opening when I see the whales, when I see the dolphins, when I'm in the sea. Yeah, that's a presence there. And the history of the whale industry, of course, is also so devastatingly painful. But now you could see a different expression. But there's so many places in the world, of course, where things are where it's so difficult to find the love, or to recognize it, or to see it. So how can I build that resilience within myself and be there and present? And what are the practices that we can develop, and how do we hold ourselves and each other? And is that something that is part of our journeying here together, that we're actually helping ourselves? Well, that's how I'm experiencing. Let me keep it personal. I'm experiencing that you are helping me hold that capacity when I'm traveling in contexts where I'm more challenged, let's say, or being asked, and I can be challenged by my own self by not believing, or by not taking in, or I can be challenged by the outside world. I can be challenged by the emotion, all kinds of ways of being challenged. But that is actually, well, that's my focus on these times. And And I always feel, Robert, when you are here, it becomes even more alive and aware for me. And the respect I have for the fact that you are in the complex context that you're in, also still tapping into hope and seeing all that. And yeah, so I'm just curious to share a little bit more, and to see, I think that's also what you're doing in the Healing Horizon group. You know, so out of this coming together, we have are seeing, and the ones that you're doing now, with the with going into the dark, it feels like we're practicing here in an emergent, light, profound, deep way, how to enhance that capacity. That's what I'm taking with me.
Yes. I think you hear me clearly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, for me, when I come into this meeting and I meet you from different areas, from different countries, love. Some people are to meet you, and when I sit in the world, I see someone is having what to eat, what to dress, I feel much love. And when I visit a people who has been suffering and I see a smile on his or her face, I feel much love. Previously, I have been having with a challenge of internet connection, and I have been so struggling to fix the internet so that I'm meeting to share my love, to share my passion. And if someone you want to get loved, love yourself the way you love yourself. That's the spirit you should show to your neighbor. Let's say, if I have a plate of food I need to eat, what if my neighbor also wants to eat? Second, if I have a cross, also my neighbor deserves to dress like me. There are people who sleep hungry. There are people who sleep without anything. There are people who sleep prostrate. There are people who are really starving every day and night. And we continue sharing our love with them. That's when we shall love. And that, for me, I think when I meet you in this group, and I just imagine today there are more women than men, and that represents this mother us. So you are representing this mother us, and this mother us loved us a lot. That's why we are still in this mother us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Two quick things I like to say. In February, I took on for this year the question to inquire into what is love for me. And the other thing is that I took on that I'm always love, that there is always pure love through my soul's connection. If I'm grounded and connected, even if I go out, I'm always that. And that even when I look not very loving or not smiling, or even then I'm love, I'm expanding that. And that taking that on, that also gives me kind of resilience. Like I just attract that. or I give that. And that feels like, I would say, aligned, or it's more like it's congruent. It's like coherent. And if I'm not, I retreat. If I really feel off, I retreat. And so this is not to say but this is just to share how I live with that now. And I feel that love is no effort. We are love. So yeah, just to bring that in as a perspective. And one more thing, I also sorry for that, but I'm longing for the moment that we really, really can charge ourselves with free energy. What would that do for hunger in the world? Wow. Living from prana and the sun. Wow.
Just a question, Annalise. When you say free energy and prana, are you speaking that are you looking at being able to bypass the GI system, that you don't need food through which to extract energy, but that we get it directly from prana, so we don't need the food industry? Is that what you're saying, or is it more technological energy?
No, but it can be both, of course. But yes, it's the first one you said to begin with. Yeah.
I was feeling something from what Robert was saying. You know, you see the contrast, and you see things that are, you know, they're really just a little heart sore, you know, and at the same time, if that didn't come into your experience, you're not able to come from that place into where do I go from here. So that's really the origin point. I've been thinking about this all week. It's the origin point of love, because when we see something that we don't want, or something that you know, it's not an experience that we'd consciously choose, we're able to see how to be the light and be aware of the light from that place. And we actually find the light, which is love as well. We find it so much more deeply when we can see from that space. It's just a deeper way of being, and then coming into the world, coming into the light when there are a million good things as well, and then being able to bring that depth of love. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I found through that extraordinary experience I had in January, February, one of the things that came to me was that my whole life has actually been exactly that. I was always attracted, it seemed completely subconsciously, to sometimes to loveless situations, or people who are behaving lovelessly, aggressively, whatever. And well, at the beginning, I had no defense for that, and it would shake me so badly, and I would wonder, why can I not be still filled with love when I'm when I'm exposed to just characters who are loveless? Why does it shake me? I want to find that depth of love that no matter what happens around me, that I will be that I will remember that I am love and nothing else, and then will be the healing one, that I can look into the face of whatever fear, violence, or whatever's going on, or into the person who's perpetrating it, and be able to, like I'm looking to the face of my lover, that I can see the Divine Mother and not react to the other. And I realized that, in fact, what your question was, was what my whole life has come to, and in February told me, you know, that this is why I took that path. And that took me into paths many times where I became the perpetrator. I wore the wicked witch. I so that gives me such empathy and compassion for those who are acting badly, because before I had little tolerance. I had no understanding why people would be so nasty or so violent or whatever. When I was put in the situation where I became that person, afterwards it was the strongest lesson of, these people are Divine Mothers still with the spark. They've just gone through something. If it can twist you, it can twist anybody. I mean, it does. And therefore, just focusing in on that divine spark of love and remembering that that is who I am, what I am, and what they and everything is, that is the reality of everything. It is divine love.
Anne-Marie and all others that we responded so far on this question, I'm just called to share a situation where I had been yesterday. So I walked on the path with a group of women on the land of Holy Hildegard, where she lived, where she had been in a monastery, and what you still can see of those ancient places and exactly what not. So you can see a story of 2000 years way back into or from the nature spirits that guided the first people to come there, being catched by visions, being called by visions, and settled, prayed in different shapes of Celtic, Roman Empire, different monks, nuns, and people that are coming there nowadays. And I experienced that everybody that came there had a prayer. So it's reminding me on what I started also a long time ago, to look at the prayers that are still valid. So I did experience that also those ones that we give a face to, we face them and look at them as good or as bad or whatever that is. And so, for example, a beautiful woman like Saint Hildegard is known for her scriptures, for her beauty in her visions, but she also called for the Crusaders to go to Jerusalem and fight for it back. So in terms of enthusiasm and love and being, I think there is a description, but I will come to that maybe at some point in English. I'm not good in that. When you are really enthusiastic and burn for something. We had a beautiful Maori woman with us yesterday, and she hesitated to enter the monastery. And then others just went in because it's also a museum and went there. So we had different layers of what we felt and what we shared and what really is there. But we all were love, and we all felt love. We felt those that burned down that came from Sweden. So we as Europeans, we burned down our monasteries. We burned down everything. Today we are the European Union and we look different on it. But there is love everywhere, and we felt that, and we felt that in the nature back. So thank you for sharing that. So if we allow, and if we allow us to be inspired, it will always remain on the places, and it is still there. It's never leaving the places. So this can not be very nourishing for us. Thank you.
Rosa, would you like to give some voice?
Yes, I was trying to formulate it in my mind.
I can see that. Maybe just
Yes, I think it's maybe a combination of two elements that are formulating themselves at the moment. And the first one, I think, is a sense of connection to, or disconnection to, our deeper self when we were talking about love. And I think that, or at least in my personal experience, the way that I react or respond to whatever I see and the difficulties and the pain I see in the outer world is a reflection to the strength of the connection to myself, to my deeper self, and its own stability. And when that wobbliness, connection to me, to myself, and I kind of visualize it as something behind me, that will reflect how I react to whatever is happening out there. And the second element that came to mind in conjunction with that is the notion of mirroring, perhaps. And whatever I see out there that is painful for me to see, to watch, and to respond to is a reflection of something within me that hasn't necessarily healed, that is kind of shedding a light. It's almost like a spotlight on what's going on out there is at the same time shedding a spotlight somewhere within that needs to be healed, and a place where I can then see whatever is out there from a place of love. And so these are the two elements that were coming just now in terms of the connection or disconnection within oneself, the stability of that connection, and the mirroring with whatever is happening out there, shedding a light on my own journey in terms of healing and in terms of how I then bring that light and bring that love to the world. And so it's also a way of gauging for me where I'm at. I tend to spend a lot of time in introspection and alone, and doing kind of retreats on my own. But entering the world again is a very good measure to kind of seeing, okay, I'm still, reacting, or, having these very strong emotions coming when I see pain and suffering and what people do to each other. And then I go back and think, okay, then definitely something within that is still triggering that, and that pain is not necessarily, I think, is not necessarily something that is part of my personal experience, or it's not limited to my personal experience. I think it's also linked to generational trauma and to ancestral trauma and to things that come from history and that have repeated themselves and that haven't been healed yet. And so there are, I think it's a kind of also layers. So in addition to the connection, that connection has layers to it. And the more we engage with the world and the more we turn that kind of spotlight within ourselves, the more layers we see. And I feel that it's dependent on how many layers we go through within ourselves, we're able to connect to that love and then to see love out there unconditionally. But I feel that it's a process of self-reflection and of healing the different layers of ourselves and those that we have been carrying from our parents and our ancestors and that haven't been healed yet.
Thank you.
No one is really without love. And there will always be darkness.
What was the last word you said?
Darkness.
Darkness. Yes. I think I heard something that also resonates with me, that what you were saying, Rosa, in some kind of an ordering. I was trying to also hold that capacity to always be loved, to not respond, to not be taken out of balance. So I was trying to get rid of my triggers. And then I got this through all kinds of ways of working, I came to the conclusion that it's not about getting rid of the triggers, because they are actually, as you're saying, they're not only mine, they're from that lineage, they can be that I'm picking up, whatever. It's the choice I make how to respond and be taken away by the triggers. Now and how to and where I find the support to cope with the triggers. And it was, for me, it's not the truth. It was just how I was able to then actually grow and take a next step when I shifted my focus from, let me get rid of my triggers, to, okay, the trigger comes in. Can I be curious to take that other road? And if I can't, what is the support system that I can have access to? And one of the ways that I support myself is to connect. If my heart closes, can I connect to the universal heart? Can I connect to the universal, what Jude Caravan now names the universal heart? That love that goes beyond me, that is much bigger. And so I started to practice. I use points on my fingers and my body. There is the chakras to identify that and to help me. And I'm feeling with the going to the dolphins and the whales again, and that 17 chakra system is another way of actually helping me to get that access, because the triggers actually give very important information. But I am noticing that by shifting my perspective to not trying to get rid of them, but do something about how I respond and work with it, that I'm getting less triggered by them. So there is that twist. If we look at the Mobius, there is that twist. There is that other way, like you were also speaking about, Juliet. But by my tendency to always first go within, that's also my child conclusion, that I'm probably not doing something right. I have to go within and to looking at that different way has helped me actually overcome quite a lot of the things.
And we can ask to be helped.
Yes. That's also
That's so wonderful because it's so much bigger than us. What I love is that it can dissolve. I had some triggers, they just dissolved. I do not feel them anymore. I could not believe that because I found that they were deeply, deeply conditioned from my mother's line and they dissolved. So it's really also bigger than us. It's really this. Well, you all know about that, getting the help from everything which is around us. Nature, spirits, trees, wolves.
Robert, you just put in the chat that something has just come into your mind. Do you want to speak about it?
There is something coming into my mind, and I have shared in a group what we call Shira's Love Mission, where for me, I love this us and I respect it. And woman represents us. So I was meaning if we can start this moral mission of doing Sheila's love mission, those women who are suffering from violence, who are suffering from hunger, who are suffering from lack of water, who are suffering from disease, and they are loveless. So if we can start that mission in whatever capacity we can, I'm still thinking about it. I think I will come up with the right idea next week. Thank you.
wonderful.
Shall we end with a love field? Can we do that?
Oh, it's already time. Yeah. Yeah.
Just for a minute, is that okay? That we all bring our love and you do it your own way, but it's the idea is that we connect our love and just be beyond your being, but just sending this, connect to this big love around us and sense what's there for you. Thank you so much. She writes Loveless Mission. Thank you.
Give us a song, Suzanne. Give us a song.
A song?
Yeah, a song or a drum or whatever. Go on.
Okay. 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 What just came into my mind is a song I learned from a dad from the Mayan world. Also saying from a beautiful woman. She's also new too. Okay. May the long-term sun shine upon you. Oh, love, surround you, and your pure heart within you. Shine you, guide you. Seven blessings. Thank you so much for the love I just received for my birthday yesterday. Love you so much, big hugs. Nice week. Ciao.